Yes, and now we're live. And this is Thomas together with Rose, and We're gonna do the weekly developer team meeting, and hopefully Brian and Amy will join us. Hopefully some other people, if they can. If they cannot, they are always welcome to see the recording afterwards. And yeah, that's posted on my personal channel on YouTube. So just search for Thomas, and you'll find us. Anyways, thank you for last night, Rose. It was great fun.
Well, thank you.
I hope they were satisfied. We are very glad to have them in our ranks of this community, and I'm very glad that the bike share project is starting, and that there are some people, you know, from other than your students that are interested in working on that project. I think it's a great learning experience for Kyle and his team.
It's very exciting. And I think overall it's a great opportunity being associated with Agile Ventures for all the students.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. And we have some big plans for next year. Hopefully we can make them happen, and mainly it's about involving the MOOC students more into Agile Ventures. And already in this iteration of the CS 169.1 course, Sam and Armando Fox and David Patterson are pushing out Agile Ventures more than they have before, and we've seen some increased activity. But next time around, hopefully we can get the students of the MOOC to host all their pair programming sessions using Agile Ventures, using Website 1. So we have some heavy coding, you know, to do into January when the MOOC goes live. So it's exciting. And yeah, so hopefully we will grow. And I see Amy's here. How are you doing, Amy? Amy? Okay. You're not muted, so you should be able to hear at least what I'm saying. Perhaps talk back. Anyways, let's have a look at. I would need you, Amy, to post a link to last week's meeting notes if you have them available. That would be great. No response. Oh. Now I see two Amy. Do you see two Amy? Yes, you do. There you go. Hello, Amy.
Okay, now I can hear you.
Wonderful. How are you tonight?
I'm good.
Wonderful.
I can only be here a few minutes, but my development update is that I'm stuck on being able to call the URI validator from a nearby validator.
Okay.
So
is that the validator that is already implemented in Website 1, or have you guys written a new one?
There's already and has been a URI validator. It's how we validate the GitHub link. And in my earlier iteration, I was validating the image URL with the URI validator from the project model. But now that I'm going to validate with the image URL validator, which is like the pivotal tracker URL validator, I need to call the neighboring URI validator. They're in the same folder. And I don't know how to call from there. And they also use the same method, validate. So if I'm saying validate in image URL, that kind of runs into validate from URI.
Really?
I think so. I posted about this in Tech Talk yesterday. Okay, I've also pushed what I have up to GitHub so people can look at it.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay. I think I originally wrote this validator, but I see only Sampriti as a contributor, so I'm rather, perhaps we moved it from someplace or something. Okay. Let's see. To validate each. But the class is different. The class name is different, so you it shouldn't be a conflicting thing for you. Pivotal tracker validate. Well, this one is too generic, so this should be rewritten to be a more I mean, this should be more generic than it is. I mean, this is too specific to, you know. So at least we should be able to pass in some regex or something. But do you have a feature branch with this on your GitHub repository or something?
Yes.
Could you post a link to that?
Yes, it's feature branch image URL. Let me get the link.
That would be great. Then perhaps I can pull this down and work on it. I don't promise anything, but I can have a look at it later tonight. See if I can solve that problem for you. Okay. Wonderful. Do you have the link to the meeting notes from last week?
I do. I have a. Hold on a sec. So it might be useful to know that here's my Drive folder. It's open for anybody to see my Agile Venture stuff. And that also has an ongoing dev meeting notes. And there is indeed notes from last week. They were here.
Okay, there we go.
And also, could people ask to be added as contributors? Right now, it's open for anybody to edit, but that's kind of troll bait. So I'd like to give specific people editing power, and then just make it view only.
Yes.
Okay.
You could do that. However, let's see. Anyone with a link can edit. So anyone with a link can view. I can set that for you.
No. Don't change the permissions. Let me change the permissions. But send a request to be added as an editor.
Okay. All right. Well, my GitHub. I mean, my Google ID is under 10. For some reason I can't do the @ here in the chat, so you can use this email to set me up with access.
Okay.
If you do that in the chat, yeah, that would be great. Okay, let me go to screen share. I see I haven't shared my screen yet. Yeah, done. All right. So I was thinking there's one thing that we could do in terms of pivotal tracker things, apart from going over. Not much has happened since last week, so there isn't much to talk about. I haven't seen any pull requests from your guys yet, Rose and girls. So if you talk to them, make them do pull requests to our repository so we can kind of track what they are doing.
I think probably most of them are going to come in tonight because most of them have class at this time, you know, like earlier and now. So I'm thinking as the afternoon goes on and into the evening, they'll have a chance to get back to this.
Okay, cool. Wonderful. So, so that would be great. And there's also this feature, and it's a good thing that you shared the link to your Agile Ventures materials on Google Drive, because we have this sign-up form for nonprofits, and I would like to integrate that into the website one. So I would like us to create a story for that in in Pivotal Tracker, and this could be potentially be something for some of you students to work on, because it's a fairly straightforward story, yet it's a little complex, because if we add you know, this form to our website, we you know, that would involve writing tests, adding a new model and controller and everything, you know. But what makes it
that
easier
sounds
is
great.
that there is the, you know, but everything is well described here, so they would know exactly what fields they would have to add and stuff. You know what I mean? So it looks like I would say it's a 3-point story, but of course we need to vote on it. But I think it's a good thing for them to work on.
It sounds
So,
great.
you know, first of
because
all, create this.
I have a number of students asking. Of course, as I said, yesterday they weren't unsure about how to close out their tasks, but now we pretty much know how. So I have a number of them asking, you know, what can they do next?
Mm-hmm. So what we could do is, you know, one group could. I mean, this would need to be split into separate stories, but it could be a good exercise for them.
Absolutely.
To first create all these feature requests and stories in Pivotal Tracker, create this sign up, and then also create a display of that. You know, some sort of an index page. You know, like this. So we can see and review. What requests we have gotten, basically. So this could be a nice thing for them to work on.
Sounds perfect.
So, yeah, too bad Amy left, because I would like you to have access to this document. For some reason, let me see.
I can send I can send
think
Amy a message later.
Yeah, you could do that. Just ask her to get access to this to these documents. Let's see. Okay, obviously I have access to this. Oh, shoot. Yes. This is not it. Sorry, this wasn't it. I thought I copied this. Copy. Yes. So that's the document with the results. You know, with all the submissions. But for some reason, I cannot give you access to this. But I think you can see it like this. If you Yes. I think if you follow that link, you will get to this form.
Okay.
So those two links could be valuable. So what I would say is that if you could coordinate this work. So the first step I would say was to create to think about what sort of feature requests that would require, and write them up with user stories in Pivotal Tracker, and then hold on. Don't write any code or anything, but wait for the next dev meeting, and we can talk about the stories and vote on them in Scrum. And then after that, they could assign those stories to themselves, in different teams, and start coding basically.
Yeah. Now, one thing I should let you know is that if we work on this, we'll have to really move, because next week is their finals week.
Oh, so this is like they will not continue in January?
Well, they won't, but another group will.
Okay, all right. So perhaps we should wait with this until after the holidays. I don't know, because potentially this could take some time.
It's up to you. They are looking to do another thing or two before the end of the semester.
Okay.
Because basically that's what they have to do left is do some more tasks for a project.
Okay. Well, from my perspective, it's I would like to have those features developed, so it doesn't really matter to me whether this batch of people or your new students. It does it, but the problem would arise if they start and they cannot finish it, and that new developers should take over that code.
Sure.
It's not the end of the world, because it's also
it's not ideal.
Yeah, it's not ideal, but it's also a learning experience for a developer to inherit some code from somebody else and get to know it. So.
Sure. Well, I mean, something else might be better for them at this time. Now, as far as the bike share people, see, a number of them are in the bike share club, so they will be continuing. But as I said, the website one and local support people, they, won't be taking this course again next semester. There'll be a new group.
Okay. All right. Well, then perhaps we should focus on them. Those people that are actually doing something for website one and local support to actually finish up their task, because they have to understand that, as we told them yesterday, that even when they feel they are done, when they submit a pull request, we will submit them to rather rigorous code review, and they will most probably, like it's a 99.9% chance that they will have to rewrite some of that code. So especially for this group, because it's a learning experience in itself, that they don't get everything approved, to begin with. So I would say push them to start delivering, pull requests, and then we submit, the code review for them. So,
Okay.
Cool. And then we can save this for next semester, or we could do like this. Another idea is that you can ask some of them to have a look at these stories, this feature, and write up feature requests, and you create user stories and think about that in perspective of the CRUD interface. Do they want to do everything at once, or do they want to split it up in different stories? And that itself could be their task, for the last weeks of this semester.
I think it's fine. I mean, the thing is, that would give the new students something to start with, but they don't have to necessarily agree with it either. They could say, well, this sounds good, but what about, writing it up this way?
Exactly. So, but then again, sometimes it is like this in projects. You are just giving a feature that has already been assessed and then written up, etc., and you just have to, bite the dust. You just have to do whatever the project manager tells you to do. So that's.
I mean, if they do a good job, then of course, we'd probably want to keep what they've done.
Exactly. And I see Brian's here. How are you doing, Brian?
Hey, Brian.
Sorry, I'm late.
How are you?
Yeah, I just got back from work not too long ago. Excuse me. Yeah, it's a bit cold here now.
How's the snow situation in England?
It's not happening down in the south.
Okay.
Looks like there might be a couple of storms up north. But actually, I'd like to have snow. Haven't had decent snow for a while.
And how's that over at your place, Rose? Do you still get a lot of snow, or?
Oh well, we've actually had a ton of snow. Last year this time, there was no snow even into the New Year, and then of course it snowed like crazy. But this year we've had quite a number of large snowstorms early, which is unusual. But then we have thaws, so it's been snowing, then it gets really frigid, then it thaws. It's kind of interesting. As a result, we have a number of bears in our area, and there's a particularly cheeky bear who has been getting into our garbage. It's like every time there's a thaw, the bear shows up.
That sounds like something. Yeah, cool. Yeah, we haven't got any snow here yet. And hopefully we get a white Christmas, but usually we don't. Usually the snow comes in end of January and stays until March.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
But I live in southern part of Sweden. Well, west part of Sweden. So. So Gothenburg is not that. But up north, of course, it's really snowy and dark. I think they
Yeah.
get 1 hour of daylight a day nowadays.
Right. Right. Ooh. Yeah, it's so dark here early. It's it takes it's like halfway through the morning before we see the sun, and then around 4 it's dark already.
It's the same here, basically.
Yeah.
So, Brian, we were talking about asking Rose's students to develop, and write up stories and add user stories to create a form for non-profits to sign up under website 1, so we don't have to use this Google form,
Right.
And so basically the idea is just to show these documents to them and ask them to do the whole process with writing up stories, writing up the feature requests and attaching user stories, etc., etc. And then we can talk about it in the next dev meeting and vote on them and assess them. And then the semester ends, so Rose will get another new students after the New Year's, so they could potentially start working on these.
I'll actually have 2 sections.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they'll be the
sections.
same. They'll be the same students then.
No, it'll be two sections of new students.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
So how many in total?
Well, I don't know yet. This course, the class I'm currently teaching, we were hoping to get about 30, but we only got about 20.
Okay.
Again, it's a little new what we're doing, so students are unsure if they really want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Now, the students this semester seem pretty excited, so I'm hoping that that will carry over to more students signing up next semester. But next semester, I'm going to have a mix of undergraduate and graduate students. So again, I'm hoping for 20 to 30 undergraduate students and probably not as many graduate students.
Okay.
Or did I say 20 to 30 undergraduate students and probably not as many graduate students?
Okay. But yeah, well, that's great news. And you're following the same textbook as the CS169 classes, or? Yes. All right.
Yes.
Cool.
And we have some additional material, but primarily it's the. In fact, this semester is kind of the last of the changeover, because previously this was a software engineering course that taught the kind of classic methodologies, the big design up front, right? And over the past several years, I've been modifying it every semester, so it's more and more agile.
Okay.
This semester, they still did a lot of classical methodology stuff at the beginning of the semester. Next semester, it's going to be all agile all the time.
All right. Do you have a link to the university homepage or this class or something?
Well, I have a SPOC, and I could give you access to our SPOC.
I was thinking more in terms of how do you promote this course at the university's website or something,
Oh, okay. Actually, what I've been doing is printing out the SPOC description page and posting it everywhere I can.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
So next semester should be pretty exciting with kind of dumping the last of the classic methodology. Hey, is this Ryan? Did I see?
Yeah.
Hi, Ryan.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay, it's great to see you.
Yeah, it worked out. I saw the link come up, so I was like, I might as well join.
Cool.
Yeah.
Welcome. Yeah, so that's cool. But so yeah, absolutely. And if you need any help from us in terms of doing some talks, I know that I'm happy to do it, and I believe that Brian, if you have time, you can also help out. I'm very excited to have your students here. So anything you need, just ask for it, Rose. And
okay, thank you. I am curious about one thing. I've seen that you and Sam are talking about Agile Venture shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to make those available for sale?
Yeah. Well, the thing is that I printed 2 T-shirts for myself for Agile Ventures and one for a Cordelia project. The problem with that vendor is that I submitted them to 2 washes, and the logo is almost gone. So I'm not very happy about the quality of the print. So that's why I purchased them myself first in order to see whether the quality is okay or not. But I have some designs that I like to print and make them available, because it's a great way to build some sort of team spirits.
Yeah, exactly. It's terrific.
Yeah, but I need to find somebody that can print good quality, yet can offer us a good shipping costs, because if you have students in the United States, we don't want to print those T-shirts in Europe, and vice versa. We don't want to ship them to Europe from the US.
Sure. Just so you know, there's a place here locally that does a really nice job that I know of that could print shirts in the US.
Okay.
But I've been thinking of trying to purchase some for like prizes and the like, for teams who do well.
I think it's a great idea. So let me have a look around, because it's always good to have something online. So I can make different. Let me see this. I can have that. I think I can access that store here. Let me see. So yeah, I would like to have that something online, so I can see who bought what, and
yeah, sure,
stuff like that. Let's see here. Is this right? And what's the password? I don't know. Remember passwords. Whoops. Well, I can't access it right now. Capture. Oh, yes, I will try. I will access that later on, perhaps. But yes, so as soon as I find somebody that is reliable, I'll let you know, and we can order something for your students.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm happy to pay for it.
So am I. So we can split the bill. Perhaps.
That's very.
I mean,
but seriously, it's fine with me.
Yeah, but if there are prizes or something, I'm glad to contribute to that as well. So no problems. We can work something out. Okay, so what else? Yeah, so Ryan, what story are you working on right now?
So right now I'm working on the feature for accepting the Jira links as well as the pivotal tracker links for the projects.
Cool. Good.
So yeah, so basically I have it so it can accept the Jira links, but I've only seen the one example from the OSRA group of like what the links even look like. So that's what I based it off of. I couldn't find any more information on it, but it works in that case. The main questions I have right now is, yeah, so the validator, the name is the pivotal tracker URL validator. I was wondering if we should, change the name of that, and also change the name of the instance variable in the project model, because that's also called pivotal tracker URL. I don't know if we want to change it so it's more general. And then also in the views, because it asks for pivotal tracker URL specifically. I guess maybe we want to add that you could also use a Jira URL.
Absolutely. I mean, feel free to do all the changes that you deem necessary. So all the variable names and the file name here. If you know, since we're moving away, just when this was created, we only used Pivotal Tracker. Then the Ostro team started to use Jira, and that's why this feature request came about. So you know, just make everything more generic and more general. Feel free to propose any changes, and if we don't like anything, we let you know during the code review, basically. But I don't see any problems with anything that you've mentioned so far. So.
Okay, and also I heard that so since Pivotal Tracker they changed the format slightly now, so in the URL they have the S and the are acceptable. So that's an easy change I put in. Is that something I should include, or should that be a separate story that should resolve that issue?
I think we added that as a task to that story, didn't we, Brian? We discussed that, right?
Sorry, I missed it. Oh,
yeah,
which story are we talking about?
We're talking about the Pivotal Tracker URL is contains either an S or M nowadays.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and Ryan is working on that story with accepting Jira links, and I think we made that that letter thing as part of this story. It shouldn't be split out, or should it?
Yeah, I think we did mention that.
Yeah, I would say, Ryan, go ahead and do that validation as well.
Yeah, I'll add
that stays within the scope.
Okay, that works.
Cool. So yes, and the name of this file. The problem what we have, and this is something that touches upon Amy's story with validating the URL for some image services, is that we have in this folder validators, we have both the Pivotal Tracker URL validator and another validator called URI validator. Is more just checking for the protocol, I think. So I would suggest perhaps that you could, I don't know, Brian, should we just merge these two together in some way, or?
I think the URI validator does different thing. It just validates that the URL is correct. That is what the Pivotal Tracker URL is doing is validating that it's a pivotal link. Now we also wanted to do a Jira link, but it's specific to those two domains.
My idea would be that when you call this method, couldn't you pass in some regexec expression that you want to use, or like options or something? I mean, should we hard code everything?
I think that's a bit too complicated.
It could be.
Because if you're gonna use regular expression, you might as well just use the plain Rails formatter. I mean, validator. The formatter validator. Validates with format.
Yeah.
You pass in regular expression and a message.
Yeah. All right. So, but could we at least just change the name of this validator to something more?
URI validator.
Yeah.
I think that is what it's doing. It is just validating.
Well, the only thing it validates is it validates that the protocols are that it should have a host and a suffix. What does it exactly do?
I think it does validate. It's a validate URI.
Okay.
I don't think we need to rename that one, but the pivotal validator we do, because it's no longer just doing pivotal.
Okay. Because Amy had a problem with using this URI validator to validate her links, but I don't know if she's having. I haven't had a look at her branch. She was supposed to post a link to that branch, so I could see what she was doing, but she didn't. She wants to create a whitelist, I believe, of some services. And
yeah.
them. So the question is whether she
another validator then.
Yeah, I would say so. All right. Well, we can return to this. But yeah. So Ryan, just feel free to do all the necessary changes. Rename this to something more general, and you know, whenever you post a pull request, we have a look at what you've done, right?
In fact,
Okay.
I can suggest something. Why don't you rename it to something like a whitelist URL validator or something like that? So that way you can also reuse it for Amy. I mean, Amy can also reuse it. She just needs to pass in like an array of regular expressions to match certain URLs, something like that. That's how I envision something. Anyway, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, I will definitely think about that. I just have to look over everything that it does and see what a good name for it would be.
Okay.
So are you working on this alone, Ryan, or do you have anybody to pair with?
Well, right now I'm pairing with one of the students in my class. I've been helping them out, like try to get acclimated and figure out how to use everything and how this works.
Mm-hmm.
But once I have more time, I want to start pairing with other people who are working on the project that aren't in my class. People who are more experienced too, and could also help me.
All right, sounds great. Sounds great.
How are you finding the project, by the way?
It's really interesting, and I definitely like working with the Ruby on Rails. I mean, I like how this is set up. It's the first time I'm working on like a big project like this with Ruby on Rails. So at first it's a little overwhelming. I spent hours just like really going through the code and just understanding how everything works. But now that I have a better feeling and I know how to interact with the community, I found it to be helpful and definitely exciting.
Cool. I think personally what I think is the biggest problem with the project is there's a lot of legacy code, and we've been trying various like refactoring patterns throughout like over the year, and then it ends up being quite a mess. So if you do find like there are confusing parts, let me know, because I think we should knock some stories up about refactoring this into something more sensible and easy to understand, if you know what I mean.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, and again, if you have me and Brian will be doing a lot of, hopefully, if we can match our schedules together, we do a lot of pair programming in this period between Christmas and New Year's. So if you're ever tired of your spending too much time with your family or something, just feel free to drop in and spend time with us. We're great fun. No, but we will be doing a lot of pair programming at that point. There's a code that we need to deliver.
Yes, when the snow is 2 feet deep and you're sick of everyone.
But I keep repeating this story. But last year I was doing the prototype for this website, for website 1, in the period between Christmas and January 3rd, because my wife was she was pregnant, so she was supposed to deliver our baby, and she was running late. And so I didn't know what to do. I couldn't leave the house because I had to be standby all the time. So she was downstairs, and I was up here, and I was coding, and she was just feeling sorry for herself, basically. So there was 2 weeks period that we were waiting for the little kid to show up, and so I was spending that time. We couldn't interact with each other because she was in a very bad mood. So I spent a lot of.
It's a trying time.
Yes. I spent a lot of time coding. Yeah. But Brian, we need to talk about this events thing and then try to narrow it down to what's the minimal viable product for us in order to be to deliver something so that the next iteration of the MOOC can use this instead of the Google group.
Yeah.
I think that's a good opportunity for us to attract a lot of new members.
Mm-hmm. I will do. Oh, and by the way, I have a friend who's a designer, and I've been talking to him, and he'll be happy to help us like give it a new makeover.
Oh, wonderful!
Because I think it's like the events page and the projects could use some work, and he knows how to make illustrations, so have some pretty stuff.
So let's hook up together with Christopher, because I think he took ownership of this project
Okay, the project
design.
stuff.
Yeah, let me just see if I can find that.
I know he has some wireframes.
Yeah.
But I didn't see anything beyond that. But yeah, I think what I've been talking to him about was more on the event stuff. I haven't gone into a lot of detail because we haven't had time to like chat over it. But he will be happy to like
Cool.
spend some time.
So
designing.
pointing to this story, if projects page would be something that he could have a look at. So we have those wireframes here. Just going to post a link to that pivotal tracker story for you, so you can. Let's see. Waiting. Yeah. So this is the wireframe that Christopher made. That would be great, if we could, I'm a little tired of the CSS here as well.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should rethink some of the designs.
It looked good when there was little, but now it's a bit cluttered.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, but I mean, and there are some really big mistakes in terms of how the CSS is parsed. For instance, this supporters sidebar is rendered differently in Firefox than here.
Okay.
So yeah, and also I believe that that the events show page is also rendered slightly differently in other browsers than in Chrome.
Oh, okay.
We need to revisit this. Yeah, so I guess a lot of people actually use Firefox, right? I rarely do, but oh no, it is messed up here anyway. But you see here the supporters banner. You see that supporters is actually centered over these, yeah. And if you have a look at in Chrome, it doesn't center that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they are kind of overlapping at times. Yeah.
Right.
But anyway, I mean, these are small things, but
we'll
we
deal
could
with
have a look
those.
at that.
Oh yeah, I just got an email a while ago. Did Sam make some changes on develop?
Yeah, he made some changes on develop. Yeah. So I pushed it up to staging, and we can push it up. But there was a pull request from Norbert, I think.
Oh yeah, about the 0 minutes. Yep.
Yeah. So what I did now is I just created this push develop to staging, and we have to get rid of Travis. Look, this semaphore has been done for a long time now, and while Travis is still in progress.
Okay. I wonder if I can do that now.
Well,
so
the only thing we have to do, we have to remove the Travis YAML file, and that's basically it.
Oh, okay.
So
really? I thought there are hooks set up as well.
I think they are, but the Travis YAML is the one that actually sets what commands are run, and the deployment keys are set in there as well.
Okay.
So the only thing we have to do is just to rename this file, and it won't run.
Okay.
So we can do that with a small pull request.
Right. So can I? Is it all set up for semaphore on develop, master, and staging?
Well, I don't know. I don't think I haven't done it.
Okay. Because right now there is a big. Let me show you my screen. There's a big X button I can click to delete Travis CI from the services in the webhook that is attached to the repository. So I could click it. I don't know if that will break stuff.
You can click it. You can click it for sure.
Okay.
But I don't think that takes away everything.
Okay.
Go ahead and do that. But I think I'm almost convinced that we need to.
I think it just won't push any updates to Travis, so we won't get any hooks happening. Like for the pull requests.
But we do have this is what I'm talking about. Let me. So website 1 and what is this Travis? Yeah. Here it is. Yeah. I mean, all these. This is the deployment commands. So we need to get rid of this as well, I think, don't we?
Sorry?
Don't we need to get rid of this?
Is that in Travis YAML?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to get rid of that eventually.
Yeah.
But I think removing the webhooks means that Travis doesn't run, so it's just a redundant file.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Okay. Then, so this should like stop now, or what should we do?
it should just stop now.
Okay. So, but anyway,
this is the last one.
On semaphore we need to set those 2 other servers, I think.
Yeah.
Done it yet. Oh gosh, why can't I use? Those passwords, you know. An old man. Oh. Damn it. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yes, yes. So it's deployed already to develop the one that I merged, and Travis is still running tests. Look, that's cool.
What did you merge?
I merged this. I pushed out from develop to staging.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, but I need to set up the staging server anyway. So yes. Let's see. Okay. Well, I can do that later. Okay. What else do we have to talk about today while I do this in the background?
I'm looking for someone to pair program with to finish setting up my new version of website 1. I want to talk to somebody about some things I've run into, and are they typical, atypical, as far as working on updating the getting started document.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Did you manage to fix those?
Yeah, the Postgres issues.
Postgres.
I fixed one issue and now I've got another, which is kind of interesting. Before we had our meetings today, I have spent the whole morning and half the afternoon on working on my other course. My students are working on their final project in my Python course, and they're at the stage where they're running into lots of problems. So they're keeping me a little busy. I didn't get home until very late last night for the same reason. I have one more issue that I feel I'll work on with them today, and then the rest of the day I'm planning on spending on the website 1 issue.
Mm-hmm. What issue are you having now?
Okay, so I remember I had the 2 versions running, and we managed to purge both of them. And then I rebooted, all right? And when I rebooted, and of course, nope, I did save it. Okay, good. Sorry, I got sidetracked. I had a little worry there for a second. Okay, so when I rebooted, I went and edited that config file again and changed it to trust for the authentication. And restarted Postgres. But now it's telling me that, where is it? It's like the test isn't found, or no database error
Oh.
Website 1 test does not exist.
You need to run rake db create.
Yeah.
For
Create.
migrating. Yeah.
But you have to set the environment. So you have to do Rails env equals test rake db create.
Oh, okay. Rails.
I think rake db create without any arguments will do all of them.
You think so? But the migration doesn't work for that. So you have to set the environment.
Oh yeah, the migration doesn't work for that for some reason. But I know create does.
So she could do Rails env test rake db is set up, and that runs the whole thing for her in that particular environment.
Oh, okay, so yeah. Rails, what, space, capital ENV?
Underscore, Rails underscore.
Capital Rails is an environment variable. So it's
capital all the way, yeah.
Oh,
Rails
okay.
underscore env.
Yeah.
Equals. I usually don't do a space there, but I don't know if it has any bearing.
It probably has an effect, so yeah. Test.
Is that just
with small
test
letters,
as the
like
mode?
this? Yeah, just like that.
Okay.
And then, on the same line.
On the same line. On the same line. Rails env equals a test, and then have a space after that. So what this does is it sets an environment variable just when you're executing a certain command, and then it just unsets it after that.
Oh, I see. Okay. So the next command would be the
rake
exec,
rake db create.
Yeah, I would do setup, and that does the whole thing basically.
Rake db setup.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Rake db setup. And hopefully it's thinking.
Yeah. I think that creates the databases and then also runs a seed.
But
okay, so it does both.
Yeah, when she runs the test, the
migration
database is cleaned anyway. So.
Okay, but do I still have to do the other rake command?
No.
Okay, so this will take care of it.
I think it does the create, the migrate, and then the seeding.
It does. Oh, okay. Wow, that's pretty nice. I wasn't aware of that command. Tell you the truth. Okay.
It looks it's working.
All right.
Yes. Yay. Well, that's gonna make me a lot happier.
Yeah, but you're right. The setup isn't appropriate in this case anyway, because it shouldn't that database shouldn't be seeded. But it doesn't matter because it will be cleaned when she runs the tests.
Okay. See, this is the sort of issue where at some point it would be helpful for me to kind of have a long conversation with somebody about what is the standard for setting up the environment, as opposed to what sort of strange problems people might run into.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fair point.
But anyway, I'm documenting everything I'm finding and putting it all in one place so that, you know, when someone has time for that conversation, I'll have all the info.
Cool. And you know, the period between Christmas and New Year's, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, especially when there's 2 feet of snow and none of us can stand looking at one another anymore.
Exactly. That's when screen sharing comes in handy.
Oh yeah. It will happen. I'm sorry to say.
All right, guys, I'm going to have to wrap it up. I have a dinner waiting for me at the table, so unless there's anything else that is pressing.
Oh, thank you so much. And I'll make sure that those pull requests go in.
Cool. Wonderful. Yeah, and start talking to them about this sign-up form that we talked about.
Yeah.
You don't have a deadline for the pull requests to be merged, do you? Just curious.
Well, you know, they are doing their finals in the next week, so it's rather.
Yeah. So I mean, time is an issue.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm pressing for them to actually do those pull requests so we can start reviewing that code.
Yeah, they should really do it early.
Yeah,
So,
like now.
they have time to. Yeah, they'll have
Now.
time for me to make some comments, and they have to change stuff as well.
Okay.
So bring up the big whip and tell them to get a move on.
You have to have the
Yeah.
carrot in the stick. That's how this works, right?
Exactly.
I don't have all that big a stick, but I've been trying to supply carrots. Some of the students have already won some prizes. So.
That's great. All right.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for tonight's meeting, and I talk to you all later. All right.
Thank you, and thank you for all your help.
Thank
And
you.
Ryan, thanks for joining us, and thanks for all your work.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, looking forward to see your pull request.
Okay.
All right. Take it easy.
All
So
right.
long. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.